Isn't it funny how sometimes a memory will just fall into another one and into another good memory, into another good memory, and really lead to kind of who you are today sometimes. I got a story around that right there. And I'd shared a post earlier on Facebook, a picture of my dad down on Lake Millwood in 1977. He was down there fishing with a guy by the name of Lawrence McConnell. And I believe they were pre-fishing for an old IBA tournament. And they went down there for a few days and caught some big fish while they were down there. And my dad, in that photo, you'll see him holding a great big bass. And he's got a Balsa B in the mouth of that bass. And what you can't tell about that photo is that Balsa B, the front hook of that Balsa B is also buried in the palm of his hand in that photo. I happen to have that very Balsa B plug right here. It's an old, probably it's about a 77 model Balsa B II, old wedge lip. I mean, look at this thing. Man, that is a fantastic plug right there. And this plug kind of rumbled around in my dad's old tackle box. He had one of those old hanging type crankbait boxes. And as a kid, I'd spend every day just constantly looking at these plugs. And he really liked this old green color. He had deep divers that he threw a lot, but he never threw this shallow one. That one trip in Millwood, I guess. And so one day out of Bob Kid, I had absconded with this thing, and I was fishing some tournaments over there. I believe I just turned 16 or 15, and our neighbor by the name of Dale Foster lived across where I got off the bus at, and I had to walk across the hill. And Dale had an automotive shop there, and Dale fished all the time. So I'd always go over to the shop and sit around and talk. Well, me and him started fishing some tournaments over at Bob Kid, the Wednesday nighter over there. And I got this old plug out of my dad's box and put it in my box, and had never thrown it, ever. Not once in my life. From my entire life, never had thrown it one time. But this one particular night out Bob Kid, me and Dale we weren't catching nothing. We just weren't doing any good. Thought, what the heck? I'm gonna tie on this old green Balsa B plug. I'm gonna chuck it around a little bit. Tied this very plug on with these very hooks. I mean, this plug. Chucked it over there by an old tree and reeled it by there, and bam, I caught one. Chucked it over there again, caught another one. I think I ended up catching 4 bass on that plug that night, which in turn started a frenzy of us trying to find more of them, which we couldn't. And from that point on, I realized there was something really special about a balsa wood plug fishing timber. And I learned it all over at Bob Kid. I began to throw this lure a lot over there. I ended up catching, I think, 3 bass over 6 pounds on it. Won multiple big bass and little jackpots over there. Me and my dad, Dale. This very plug did a lot of duty over there at Bob Kid. Finally found me some more of them. And it turned me into a Balsa B. I love them. They're one of my most favorite plugs. I've got a whole darn box full of them. I throw them all the time. So I guess I need to thank my dad for buying that old plug to go down to Millwood and let me steal it out of his old box and go on over Bud Kid and learn how to throw a square bill crankbait, because it's been a special technique to me all my life, and just didn't know what I had. Super cool story. I'm glad I still have this old thing. Every time I look at it, I love it. Good stuff right there. My dad would have been 84 years old today, and I sure miss him a lot. I'm so thankful for everything he taught me about fishing and about life, and just thankful I had him to help me guide my way through the rest of my life. If you don't have a Balsa B, get you one, maybe 10 or more. They're good plugs. Hope y'all have a good evening out there. Hope you enjoyed that story. I know I sure enjoyed going back through time, remembering all those fish and just how that all came down. It's pretty cool stuff.